Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Friday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura.
And I am Jemima Ndibele.
Good evening. It's great to have you on the show. I understand this is your first time on Sunset News.
Yes, I'm quite excited. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm also excited. Now, getting into the news tonight. Silence filled the city of Windhoek Chambers at the district's magistrate's call for nominations from council of the two remaining positions of the Management Council. As a result, the election meeting for political office bearers has been postponed to the 8th of February. Let's take a look.
Seeing that there are no nominations, we will then have to adjourn the proceedings of today to the next available day. And I have a suggestion regards to the date. Or do you need a brief adjournment to focus the day? You need a brief adjournment.
Thank you, Your Worship, for the opportunity. I just want first to register that last year, after our adjournment, some of our fellow councillors have indicated that they will not be available today. So also now, if we think of coming up with the date today, I don't think that would be advisable. We rather give it in the hands of the office of the mayor to come up with the suitable date, which might be a possibility that all, if not 99% of councillors will be available. So I suggest to give the responsibility to the office of the mayor. Thank you.
Now, I understand that's rather odd behavior. Why was the silence?
Well, the silence was rather loud because, I don't know whether you know, but the management committee requires 5 individuals in order to be complete and in order to ensure that council's resolutions are then seen through and implemented timely. However, with those positions not being filled and the 3 current filled positions being filled by SWAPO party councillors, the silence is rather a form of opposition from the opposition parties that
It's a protest of sorts.
Yeah, it's a protest of sorts, but at the same time that protest is resulting in the livelihoods of the city of Windhoek residents being affected, because now resolutions can't be implemented and everything is basically at a standstill.
And it's postponed
Exactly.
from my understanding now. Well, we will keep obviously the viewers informed on any further developments in that story, but we do hope that it's resolved as quickly as possible.
Yes.
Getting into our next story, the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia hosted its annual press gathering to reflect on Indonesian foreign policy achievements and highlight foreign policy priorities for the year 2024. The embassy's head of Socio and Cultural Information Affairs, Ari Hadiman, said that contributing to international peace is one of their foreign policy priorities, hence the nation's full support for the liberty of Palestine. Let's take a look.
To disseminate information about our achievements, our foreign policy achievements for the last 9 years, started from 2014 until 2023. And also we will deliver or share the priority that we will carry on for 2024. And our colleagues here, my colleagues, Mr. Mandala and also Dr. Sultan, they will also share some insights of the activities and the political sections of political affairs between Indonesian media as well as our accreditation country in Angola. And Dr. Sultan Syahri, who in charge for economic affairs, he will share some of his achievements or the embassy achievements on conducting, implementing economic diplomacy in Namibia as well as in Angola. I would like to start the presentations by sharing the contents of the discussions for today. The first one is the introductions, followed by explanations or collaborative explanations on the economic diplomacy, followed by achievements on the protection of Indonesian citizens abroad, sovereignty diplomacy, world peace and stability, and also the final part of this presentation is strengthening the diplomatic infrastructure. The first part of this presentation is the introductions about the event.
Now, Jemima, I understand that you did attend the press briefing that happened earlier in the morning. What are your thoughts on their take, especially on their stance regarding Palestine?
Well, I think it's quite important that the nations are starting to speak out. And I mean, this is the same way in which Namibia and South Africa ultimately, got and sought their freedom from apartheid. And interestingly, on that same note, the Indonesian Minister of Foreign Affairs will actually be making her way to the International Court of Justice in February, the 16th of February, if I'm not mistaken, in order to advise on the Palestinian crisis and how to better resolve that matter. So I think in that regard, seeing how we are becoming more intertwined as a global community and standing up for the injustices such as what is happening in Gaza is particularly important.
Yeah, that's very commendable. And like you said, we are working together as a global community and to say, no, this is not right. Now getting into our next story, Transport Minister John Mutoro said that Namibia is fortunate to receive a delegation from Sierra Leone who are conducting benchmarking exercise to learn best practices regarding the construction and maintenance of road infrastructure. Let's take a look.
We in the transport sector were quite grateful, and we are still grateful for having received so early in the year distinguished colleagues from the Republic of Sierra Leone came to us. Minister, I thank you, and through you, the government and people of the Republic of Sierra Leone for having chosen Namibia so early in the year 2024 as your destination for us in this sector of transport to interact, to discuss issues relevant to our national mandates and assignments in the sector, to benchmark, to learn from one another. And these meetings started on Tuesday in this very same boardroom.
Now, in your words, how important would you say these exercises are in terms of, opening up the borders and opening up communication between different countries?
I'd say it's extremely important, Leonora. Particularly, I think it speaks to our development as a country at this point in time. The fact that other nations from other parts of Africa are able to come and learn from us, particularly in the transport and works department. I would say this is something that we as a nation can be particularly proud of in that regard.
I totally agree. Now, coming up in our community segment, we look at the remarkable recognition that the African Millimeter Telescope has been honored with this day with Sunset News.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
In our Community Talk segment, in a remarkable recognition of innovation and commitment to public engagement, the Mobile Planetarium team of the Africa Millimeter Telescope project has been honored with the 2024 Annie Mulder Medal for Outreach by the Royal Astronomical Society. Yolanda Nell has more. Let's take a look.
The Mobile Planetarium of the AMT has been a vital tool in bridging the gap between astronomical research and public awareness in Namibia. This accolade of the RAS underscores the team's exceptional efforts in bringing immersive and interactive astronomy experiences to the Namibian public, fostering a connection between scientists, government officials, and the wider community. Dr. Mark Kleinwald of Radboud University and AMT project director, there was a unique set of challenges faced in Namibia due to its vast size, and he stated that few scientific outreach programs reach all corners of a country. The solution was to introduce a portable mobile planetarium capable of reaching even the most remote locations in Namibia, allowing all Namibians to actively engage with the project. The RAS's Annie Mulder Medal, launched in 2016 to celebrate the centenary of women's admission to fellowships, recognizes outstanding achievements in outreach projects. This year's award acknowledges the impactful efforts of the AMT Mobile Planetarium project in bringing the wonders of astronomy to diverse audiences across the country. The accolade reflects not only the team's dedication, but also the broader significance of science communication and education in fostering a scientifically literate and inspired society. The award will be presented during the National Astronomy Meeting later in the year, celebrating the team's commitment to advancing public understanding of astronomy and scientific research in Namibia. The AMT project aims to establish the first millimeter wave radio telescope on African soil. This telescope will be situated in the Namibia's Khomas Highlands and set to expand the Event Horizon Telescope network, famous for capturing the groundbreaking image of the black hole in 2019. We caught up with Jandre Divenaar of the AMT project to hear what their thoughts are on this award.
Hey Yolanda, so just being noticed by the Royal Astronomical Society means the world to us. I mean, the work that we're doing here in Namibia is enthusing so many students here, but a very local perspective. So just being noticed by this society, which is the oldest astronomical society in the world, is for us a massive honor, and let alone getting a medal from them. I mean, they give out awards every year for different categories of things, and they have a medal dedicated to outreach. And so we are super stoked to have received this medal and really excited for how it's putting Namibia on the map. And the team, I can tell you, is over the moon. There's obviously going to be a handover ceremony in London, at Oxford in July, and we're hoping to send as many of the team members over there to actually receive this medal with the engraving on of our team's name and everything. And so we're really excited for this. And I mean, this international recognition that we are receiving is for us just such a awesome testimony of the support which we are experiencing around this project. I mean, from large-scale support like Gondwana and Nedbank and Fly Namibia supporting the project, to local schools and teachers really just receiving us into the environment and helping us instill an enthusiasm for science and maths and technology. So it's just for us amazing that this message from Namibia is kind of spreading to the rest of the world, and we are just super excited for that.
In economic news after the break, we look at the global tourism set to fully recover in 2024.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhh.com.na.
Now getting into our economic news, global tourism is set to fully recover from the pandemic in 2024 as international tourist arrivals will likely be 2% more numerous than in 2019. The United Nations World Tourism Organization said on Friday. Now, increased global air connectivity and a strong recovery of Asian markets will allow a full rebound of tourism activities worldwide this year, even though geopolitical instability in the Middle East and elsewhere constitutes a risk for the industry as it affects would-be travelers' confidence, the UN tourism body said. In 2023, travel demand in Europe and Africa almost reached pre-pandemic levels and surpassed them in the Middle East. Some destinations such as Mediterranean Europe, the Caribbean and the Central American and North African sub-regions exceeded their 2019 international tourism arrivals last year. The organization expects the Chinese market to soar in 2024 after the government allowed visa-free travel for citizens of France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, Spain and Malaysia until the 30th of November 2024. Flight capacity into and out of China is set to increase this year. In 2023, international tourism ended at 88% of pre-pandemic levels, with an estimated 1.3 billion international travelers. The overall industry contribution to the global economy in 2023 was $3.3 trillion, according to the report. This is definitely positive news.
Definitely. I think it's quite exciting to see that the fear around traveling has subsided, due to, COVID taking a break and everything. I think it's exciting times.
And also quite some interesting approaches some of the countries are taking, visa-free initiatives that they have to encourage travelers to travel.
Certainly.
I mean, I'm up for a travel, a trip somewhere. Up next is our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 24.01, against the euro at 20.64, against the US dollar at 18.97, 2 Namibian dollars and 63 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, all major commodities went up, with Brent crude oil trading at 0.22%, going for $78 and 98 cents per barrel. After the break, we'll be getting into your international news.
We are all seeking connection to each other, to the world, to the spaces we exist in.
Poor sportsmanship right now from the lads.
You might be physically ready, your body is ready, but mentally.
Here's another chance, and it is a goal from Vindo Kahana.
Sy sê die is er aan neertrek en hy bal net my grond gepad. Ja, hy het grond gepad en is
But just enough next.
Shh. Running that mountain up. Okay, so we will be doing this for the mountain climber. More advanced, slightly advanced.
So is jou trolley reg? Want
I love it. I love it. So then
kickstart our countdown at number 5 with this one.
Op Netwerk TV se Klets Kompas gesels ons nuus van 'n Maandag tot Donderdag. Ons kyk ook na die weer en meer. Stories wat jou raak en stories wat saak maak.
They've made a mistake in denying me bail, and they've made several other mistakes in many other cases.
The channels that teach us something new or reflect our expression. So it goes beyond switching to the right station. It's about choosing the experience that can adorn the present, dressing it with our tastes as we expand our preferences, because what we are actually connecting to is boundless, limitless human energy. And this is the spirit of NTV.
Getting into our international news, Paul Mackenzie and 94 others have been charged with terrorism following the deaths of 429 people. The defendants all denied the charges, which were read out in a magistrate's court in Malindi, southeastern Kenya. The Kenyan cult leader is alleged to have encouraged members of his Good News International Church to move to Shakola Forest and prepare for the end of the world. Hundreds would later die. Other charges relating to child torture and assault are due to be brought at a separate court hearing. In April 2013, Mackenzie was detained after bodies were found in mass graves in a remote forest about 2 hours' drive from the coastal town of Malindi. Most showed signs of starvation, but some, children among them, may have been assaulted, according to media reports. The self-proclaimed pastor denies responsibility for the death, saying his church had been closed since 2019. The request by the suspect's defense lawyer for bail has been referred to another court. This has definitely been, a case that I've been following, and it's so sad to hear the number of people that died. I hope that he does face the consequences of what he has done.
While he's alive, unlike the late TB Joshua.
Exactly, while he's alive. After the break, we'll be getting into your weather predictions.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Let's take a look at our weather predictions for tomorrow. Katima Mulilo can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius. Oshakati can expect some showers with a minimum of 21 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius. Handys Bay can expect sunny weather with a minimum of 19 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 22 degrees Celsius. Rehoboth can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 22 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius. After the break, we'll be getting into our sport news with Limba.
Good day, viewers, and welcome to today's edition of Sunset News, brought to you by SportRep. I'm your host, Limba Mupetami. MTC has announced the renewal of its sponsorship support to the Namibian Netball Premier League, where it commits a total of 2.5 million for the next 3 years. This represents a 31% increase from what the league received last year. The FNB Women's Super League resumes this weekend. Matches will be played at the NFA Technical Center, Monteza Sokopmund, and No Abe Stadium in Okahanja. Lastly, the Namibian Paralympic athlete Ananias Chikongo is far from contemplating the end of his illustrious career, firmly believing that he still has much to contribute. The 37-year-old Paralympian, specializing in T11 short distance events, remains steadfast in his commitment to professional competition, asserting that age is merely a number. Well, spirits are high in the Brave Warriors training camp as well, as the team intensifies their preparations ahead of their crucial encounter against neighboring Bafana Bafana on Sunday. What is called the Southern Hemisphere Derby will decide who is better prepared and ready to represent the region. Well, of course, with that, we come to the end of Sunset News. Tune in once again on Monday for more news.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you so much, Jemima, for joining us and sharing your thoughts on some of the stories.
Thank you for having me, and may you continue to inform the nation so gracefully as you do.
We shall definitely do that. From me, Glenn Rashipura, until next time.